Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. Welcome back, those of you who've been away, who've been unwell. Good morning. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late because I was actually watching dolphins down at Williamstown Beach. There were 4 dolphins this morning. Maybe I think one was a little baby. And yesterday as well, they were there. So those of you who live around here, if you've got the time, you might like to head down and have a look. I'll be back down there later on today. If you have a bolster this morning, it would be great to pop that on your mat or a cushion or a pillow. And you can either start in a seated position, perhaps sitting on your bolster on a chair, or you might like to lie down on your mat and perhaps even have the bolster under the knees for a bit of lower back support. Just make sure that you are warm. If you're sitting, a nice, tall, straight, upright spine. You might like to close the eyes, sigh the breath away, perhaps through pursed lips, as though you're exhaling through a straw. So just slowing down the outward breath. And as you breathe in, you might like to say to yourself, I am. And as you exhale, here. Breathing in, I am. Breathing out, here. I am here. Just taking these first few moments to notice what's going on inside this morning, how you are feeling in body, mind, heart. No judgment. Welcoming all, accepting all. And then I invite you to imagine that next to you is a giant wooden chest with a lid that opens and closes. And I invite you now to put all of the events that have happened before you came to your mat for this practice into the giant wooden chest. All the hustle and bustle, all the places you've been, the conversations you've had, appointments you've been to. Imagine putting all of these things, all of the things you might have been worrying about, feeling concerned about, into the wooden chest, knowing that you can retrieve them if you choose to after the practice. And then also I invite you to put into the wooden chest all of the plans and things you need to do after the practice this morning. All of the tasks, chores, perhaps people you need to meet, appointments, anticipations about what is to come. Put all of these into the container too. Again, knowing that they will still be there when you are done, if you choose to reclaim them. And then leave the image of the wooden chest and drop your gaze, your drishti, down towards your heart center, feeling the space within your heart. You might like to rest your hands over your heart and just adjust your touch so that it feels a little softer and more tender than usual. Feeling the expansion and contraction of the chest, soft and spacious. I'd like to share the beautiful poem with you by John O'Donoghue. It is a wonderful day in a life when one is finally able to stand before the long, deep mirror of one's own reflection and view oneself with appreciation, acceptance, and forgiveness. On that day, one breaks through the falsity of images and expectations which have binded one's spirit. One can only learn to see who one is when one learns to view oneself with the most intimate and forgiving compassion. So the focus for our practice this morning is forgiveness, particularly forgiveness of self, all the ways we may get down on ourselves for not being perfect, for perhaps stuffing up with our kids or our partners or our friends or our health and well-being. And also forgiveness of others who may have harmed us in some way, whether intentionally or unintentionally. First and foremost, though, our focus is to extend forgiveness and love and compassion and care to ourselves. To start at home with ourselves, and then to allow forgiveness and love and compassion and kindness to flow out into the world naturally rather than forced. I've shared the following words with you before, but they're so beautiful. I'd like to share them again from the epic tale of the Bhagavad Gita. If you want to see the brave, look to those who can return love for hatred. If you want to see the heroic, look to those who can forgive. Bring your full attention now back to your heart. Your hands resting tenderly over your heart. And we'll chant 3 Oms together. So exhale all breath. Breathing in. You might like to just bow your head down towards your heart now and perhaps saying to yourself a few times, I forgive to set myself free. I forgive to set myself free. And then gently release, lifting the head, release the hands. We're going to work with a little bit of Brahmari pranayam now, the humming bee breath. So you can do this lying down or seated. We'll work with it a few times in different ways. The first way will be, if you like, to bring the hands back over the heart. If you're comfortable, to close the eyes. And we're going to make a beautiful humming sound like a bee and feel the vibration through the head and the face, but also traveling down into the heart space. So 5 breaths in this way. So let's exhale all breath. And then breathing in. One more. Good. And then the second round, we'll block off our sense of hearing. So blocking off our ears, either like this, or you might just use your index fingers and have the arms down. So again, 5 breaths in this way. So let's exhale all breath. And then breathing in. When you finish, release the hands down. And we'll do a final round, 5 breaths silently this time. So your drishti, your gaze, is down towards your heart center, eyes closed. In your own time, counting 5 breaths. Inhale. Right. And when you finish, no hurry. You might like to keep the eyes closed, just bringing the palms of the hands together. Let's rub the palms until they feel nice and warm. And then bringing your fingertips to the center of the forehead and just stroking across your forehead out towards your temples, So a very soft, tender touch, as though you're stroking the forehead of a loved one. Might visualize a pet or a baby or a grandparent. Stroking lovingly, softly. Very soothing touch. Good. And then we go to the bridge of the nose and just stroke out towards our ears, across our cheeks. Loving touch. Good. And then go up to the top where you just the hairline, the center of the head, and just stroking down towards your ears, sides of the face. Tender, gentle touch, loving touch. Good. And then up to the crown of the head and stroking down the sides of the head. Good. And then cross your arms, hold on to your opposite shoulders, and we're going to stroke down the arms and then just go across your palms, and then again down your arms, crossing your palms. Just a few more. So loving ourselves, being kind to ourselves. One more. Good. And then just bring your hands back over your heart. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it away. All right. Now, if you're seated, I invite you just to fold forward. If you're lying down, feel free to bring the knees in towards the chest now. Give yourselves a lovely hug and just rock from side to side. I'm going to come back to meet you on my mat in a moment. Clearing everything off our mats, or actually you might want to, if you're sitting, actually we'll all come to sit, but you might like to just be seated on a little bit of support for the first movement, which is to work with our seated cat. So legs can be crossed or in a diamond shape, if that's better for you this morning. And we're going to exhale round the back. And as we inhale, chest comes forward, face soft, mouth relaxed. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. Just work at your own pace. Find a rhythm this morning that works for you, synchronizing your movement with your breath. Good. Now, if you'd like to, we'll bring our fingertips onto our shoulders. Inhale, take the arms back. And exhale, elbows touch. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Waking up our spines this morning. So just noticing how your back is feeling, the different parts of the back, your shoulders. Waking up our lungs by taking nice full breaths in and out. And then if you'd like to, arms wide and exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. And this time we'll interlace our fingers, turn the palms away. Inhale, raise the arms up. You can separate the arms if that's better for your shoulders. And then exhale, lower the arms down. Good. Let's make a few slow circles with our shoulders. And release. All right. We might need to remove any support under the buttocks now because we're going to come to sit on our buttocks with the feet stepped out in front and hands behind. So just working now with a twisting movement and also beautiful for warming up our hips. So we'll try to keep the chest moving forward rather than sinking back like this and rounding the shoulders forward. We'll take a deep breath in and then we'll lower the knees to one side, doesn't matter which side, and you can turn to look over the opposite shoulder. Breathe yourself back to center and knees to the opposite side, head opposite shoulder. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. One more to each side. And back to center. Now just release the hands for a moment. You might like to circle the wrists and reverse. And shake. And then we're going to cross our ankles, hands behind. This is our bit of work for our abdominal, strengthening the abdominal area. It's a variation of Navasana boat. I think most of you will have done this with me before, but if you're not sure, you can have a look. So we exhale as we draw in, and as we inhale, we see if we can straighten the legs and lean back. Exhale, draw in, sitting up tall, try to draw the shoulders back, and then extend, inhale. Exhale, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And try a couple more. Good, and then just release the hands, have a rest forward. You might like to sigh the breath away. Anytime you're practicing this morning that you find you're getting, your internal dialogue is a little bit negative, or you're being critical of yourself or making a judgment because you can't do something, perhaps come back to that affirmation, I forgive, to set myself free. So just watch. Some of us can be very good at beating ourselves up. for our imperfections. I forgive to set myself free. All right, let's cross the other ankle on top, hands behind. Draw in as we exhale. Inhale, straighten. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Perhaps a couple more. Release, and again, take a rest. Letting go of any negative internal dialogue, any negative self-talk. Breathe into the heart. Being kind towards yourself. Okay, let's have a go at boat now, Navasana. The gentlest option is to have the hands behind you as you lean back and just lift the legs up. If you'd like to go a little bit further this morning, we can hold on to the sides of our legs, sit ourselves up nice and tall, and then lean back and come up. You can even just raise one leg up like this, or if you've got your balance this morning, raising both legs. Feet are flexed, inner edge of the big toes touching. Some of you might like to release the hands. Palms are facing each other. Try to draw, just relax your shoulders and draw the shoulders back a little. Face soft. Let go of any tension in the mouth and breathe. Couple more breaths if you can. And take a rest. Looking to sit now, and again, you might choose to sit on some support. You could kneel or sit cross-legged, or even with the legs in a diamond shape. And we'll just have a little bit more of a stretch for the wrist. So holding one forearm, making a little bird's beak with your fingers, and circling the hand nice and slowly. And reverse. Good. And then other side. Good. And give the hands a shake. All right, a little bit of a twisting movement, and just to free up the energy in the sort of the upper back and the chest, because a lot of our focus is on the heart. Forgiveness is connected to the heart chakra, Anahata chakra, as well as compassion, building up our compassion for ourselves and others, kindness. So for this one, we're going to hold on to the opposite elbow, so the arms are at shoulder height. We're just going to start to swing the arms from side to side. So you might start off quite slowly, and you might like to speed it up a little bit if that feels okay. Good, and then just slow that down, come back to center, take a deep breath in, side away. Now another movement for that whole area. This time we're going to have the arms at shoulder height with the fingers pointing each other in front. We're going to cross one arm over the other, take the arms back, trying to keep the elbows shoulder height, cross and then up, cross, back, up, back, cross, back, up, back, cross, back. Good, and again, you can keep it slow or you might speed it up. See if you can alternate which arm is on top when you cross or in front. Keep the breath flowing. It's also a very invigorating, energizing practice. Good, couple more. And release. Take a breath or two, just observing the effects of the practice. All right, one more stretch for our arms before we change positions. This is one for our tricep muscle. So we'll raise the left arm up and then bend. And right fingers might go to the elbow, or if you can get a monkey grip, you drop that right arm down and see if you can reach the fingers behind your back. Keep the heart lifted. Make sure you're not doing this, looking down and collapsing the chest. And breathe. If you have got a monkey grip, we want to try to keep that right shoulder level with the left. Chin parallel to the floor. Perhaps a gentle smile on our lips. Good. And release. Give the arms a bit of a shake. And then extend the right arm up. Bend. Fingertips to the elbow, or release the left hand down. See if you can get a monkey grip. Breathe into the heart space. Soft face, relaxed mouth. All right, let's come over onto all fours, and we're going to work with our bandhas, which we've been working with the last couple of weeks. On all fours, which we did, we worked with them this way last week. If you've had a big brekkie or you have any sort of stomach ulcers, probably best not to do these, so you might just work with a few rounds of cat. Or if you feel at all lightheaded or dizzy or nauseous when we do work with them, then that's an indication to stop. So otherwise, we're going to be exhaling the breath and then applying our 3 energy locks. So Mula Bandha perineum, Uddiyana Bandha, our abdominal lock, and Jalandhara Bandha, our throat lock. So let's exhale all breath to begin. And then breathing in, blow the breath out through the mouth. So we hold this position, there's no breath in the body, squeeze the perineum, tummy draws in up under the rib cage, chin to chest, holding. When you need to breathe, just come back to a neutral spine. If you feel a bit dizzy, you can always drop back into extended child as well. And then again, when you're ready, inhale. And last one, breathing in, breathing out. And finish sinking back into extended child, arms extending forward, releasing your buttocks back towards your heels. Your ears are between your arms. And while you're here, I invite you to reflect on one quality, a quality that might assist you to forgive, whether it's yourself or others, a little more easily. So just bring to mind one quality, whether it's kindness, compassion, perhaps it might be courage, strength. No right, no wrong. Just think of, for you, what one quality might assist you to forgive yourself or others. And then on our next inhalation, as we come up into cat, let's imagine we're inhaling that quality and then rounding the back and sinking back. Now we're going to add some humming, Brahmari Pranayam on the exhale. So we'll do 5 of these. So breathing in, I inhale that particular quality and then humming back. Or more like this. Keep going. Take a breath, side away. And then inhale up into cat, but this time we're going to tuck the toes and move into down first dog pose. Breathing in, dropping down onto the knees, and back into child. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes into dog. This time we're going to stay for a breath. In. And breathing out. 3 more of these with dog. Inhale, cat, tuck your toes. This time staying for 2 breaths. Knees into child. Inhale. I'm staying for 3 breaths this time. 4 breaths, or coming down earlier if that's better for you this morning. Fingers spread wide, just relaxing your head and your neck. It's time lowering the knees and come down into a supported child. So arms alongside you or making fists with your hands, and just rest for 2 or 3 breaths. Good. And then extend the arms forward again. Inhale, up onto your knees, tuck your toes into down first dog pose. Now we're going to have a bit of a side stretch. So take the feet a little wider, swivel your feet to the left and holding here, breathing into that left side of the torso. And then swivel the feet around to the right side, breathing into the right side of the torso. And back to center. If you like, stay another couple of breaths, just coming down when you need to. And again, a resting child pose. And release. So I've got a choice now of either working with a calf stretch, which is the gentler option. Then your wrists are giving you a bit of grief, this one you can make this with the hands. But otherwise we're on all fours again, our knees are together. So we're either going to work with just a calf stretch. We can all start off with this, but then if you'd like to, you can come into plank. So taking both legs back, body in a straight line. Otherwise, just work with the calf stretch, perhaps about 5 breaths on each side. Otherwise, we're in our beautiful plank, shoulders over the wrist, fingers are spread wide. Keep the breath flowing. I like to apply Mula Bandha here and a little bit of Uddiyana Bandha just to keep strong through the core, to support the lower back. When you've had enough, just release back into extended child. And then we can either stay here and rest, or I thought some of you might like to do some yogi push-ups this morning. So if so, come onto your knees. You can lift the lower legs. And as we exhale, we're lowering the torso down towards the mat. As we inhale, we lift up. So exhale, we lower. Inhale, lift up. 2 or 3 more if you can. Perhaps 1 more. And then coming back again into a resting child pose. You might like to sigh the breath away. And then let's come up onto our knees. We're going to go through some kneeling salutes. So we can either start off in a low kneel or coming up to start here. And nice, tall, straight spine. Just relax the shoulders. Exhale all breath. And then breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale, cat. Tuck the toes. Down, face dog pose. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to add our prostration this morning, so a little bit different. So from here, we're going to slide along the floor, come to lie down with your palms together, forward on the mat, and let's take a breath here. Let's try to relax as much as you can. And then arms and legs wide, and we lift and lower. Hands back alongside the chest, elbows tucked in. Breathe in, bend the legs, push back. Inhale. And exhale. So let's try 2 more of these. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, cat, tuck the toes, down, face dog pose. Back into cat. And child. Sliding on the floor, palms together, and take a breath. Arms and legs wide, and lift. And lower, hands back alongside the chest, breathe in. Bend the legs. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. And breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to slowly make our way up now into a standing position. Come to the backs of your mats. We're going to step the right leg forward. We're going to be on the ball of the left foot. Our hips are square. This is a variation of Virabhadrasana 1. So working with a couple of warrior poses this morning to connect in with our courage and our strength to forgive, whether ourselves and or others. So let's take the arms up. Palms are facing each other. As we exhale, we're going to bend the right leg, swinging one arm forward, the other arm back, and up. One arm forward, the other arm back. 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Release the arms. Step that front leg back. And the other leg forward. So hips are square. You're on the ball of the right foot. Arms up. So this time we're going to bend the left leg, swing the opposite arm forward. Opposite arm forward. 3 more. And 1 more. Good. Release your arms. Step that front foot back. And just give everything a bit of a shake. Feet hip width. Just relax your arms, bend the legs, And let's just start to bounce, flicking the fingers away, shake the arms, perhaps exaggerating the shoulders, lifting up and down. Perhaps imagine we're releasing any resistance to forgiving, stubbornness. Good. And then slowing that down and just coming back to stillness with the hands over the heart as we remember the words, I forgive, to set myself free. So this is about the bitterness and the anger and the resentment that we might build up in our hearts, perhaps towards others, but it's about us. When we're here on our mat, we know this is all about us. What are we carrying? I forgive, to set myself free. Especially as we remember the words of Ramana Maharshi, there are no others. Let's come back to our humming now. We'll work with 5 hums, taking the arms out to the side and then bringing the hands back to the heart as we hum. Eyes can be open or closed. So exhale all breath, breathing in. Take your breath. It's the arms down. Let's take the legs wide. So we're going to work with a variation of Warrior Two. So the left toes are turned around, right toes in. Let's breathe in, raise the arms to shoulder height. Turn to the left. As we exhale, we're bending the left leg. Now, we're not going to hold Warrior Two this morning. As we inhale, we straighten the front leg, bring the hands in, up to the heart, and exhale. So breathing in, breathing out. Perhaps again, recalling that quality that might help you to forgive. And as you inhale, imagine you're filling yourself up with that quality, and exhaling. 2 more. Breathe in that quality, compassion, courage, kindness, and last one. From here, we're going to move into Dancing Warrior. So inhale, turn that left palm up, and exhale, windmill the arms backwards. And just holding for a few breaths. Good. Inhale and exhale. Just turn the legs around and breathing in. Turning to the right, breathing out, bending the right leg. Inhale, straighten the front leg, draw the hands in up to the heart. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in kindness, love, generosity. Breathing out. 2 more. Good. And then inhale, turn that right palm up, windmill the arms back and breathe. Inhale. And the legs together, give them a shake. All right, we're going to grab our bolsters or our pillows, our cushions, and come to lie down in supported fish, Matsayasana. So placing your support across the upper part of your mat, lying down. If you're feeling a bit cold, you might have socks on, you might cover yourselves with a blanket at this point. Any neck issues, please get a little pillow for the back of your head. And then we're lying ourselves back over our props. Arms can be overhead if that is available to you this morning, or alongside you, out to the sides, on the body, whatever's comfortable. And once you get here, just allow yourself to let go. Enjoy the feeling of being held, of being supported, and let yourself sink into that support. I remember years ago going to a yoga class, and the teacher, we were using the wall for some of the poses, and I remember she said at one point, like, you know, that feel the support of the wall, you know, that the wall is there to offer you support. Let yourself receive that support. I remember I was going through a bit of a challenging time at that moment, probably feeling very alone in the world. And I remember it had a huge impact on me, you know, thinking that we can receive support from not just other people, but the floor, the earth, water. So I do love, some of you know I've talked about, I love floating in the sea and just so completely surrendering and just allowing myself to be held and supported by the water. So it's something you might like to explore yourselves if that resonates. To let ourselves receive support from non-human things, a tree, sit up against a tree or hug a tree, but to actually let yourself sink into that support, even our beds at night, and to enjoy that feeling of being supported, held. So just another minute or so here, but if it's becoming uncomfortable, please feel free to come out a little earlier. 2 or 3 breaths, preparing to release from this position. Safest way is to roll over to the side. Just slowly, gradually coming up to sit. We're going to go into a supported forward bend of your choice. So please choose what feels most appropriate for you. It might be supported child, as I'm doing here. The knees are wide, coming forward, head to the side, or it might be sitting cross-legged, coming forward, or legs wide, or even Paschimottanasana, the legs extended, the bolster on top, and coming forward. And if we can't get our foreheads down, we might rest on our elbows like this, or down, fist with the hands, forehead on the fist. Minimal effort though. So nothing where we're needing to strain or force or push. That's coming back to those words, I forgive, to set myself free. I forgive, to set myself free. Just a few more breaths here. And slowly come up. And we're going to now move into forgiveness meditation. And you can either do this lying down, so coming into Shavasana, and you can work with the meditation lying down, or if you prefer to stay seated. It is probably will go for about 8 minutes, 8 or so minutes. So just choose how you'd like to do this practice. I'll come up a bit closer with you again. If you're sitting, a nice full upright spine, perhaps your hands in a favourite mudra. So this practice can assist us to develop the capacity to forgive, and we're going to be asking for forgiveness in 3 different directions. If at any stage you become a little bit upset or disturbed by the practice, please know that you can withdraw at any stage, and we'll bring our awareness back to the breath in the heart space. So to begin, when you're settled, I'll invite you to close the eyes and direct your drishti or gaze down towards your heart center. Another name for this in the ancient scriptures is Hridaya Kasha, Hridaya Kasha, our spiritual heart center. Softening the skin of the face, perhaps a gentle smile on your lips as you feel the breath entering and leaving the lungs, massaging all of the muscles around your heart. So if you feel okay to proceed now, I invite you to remember a time when you might have hurt another person. So it might have been yesterday, Might have been last week or 5 years ago or 50 years ago. Bring to mind a person that you might have hurt. And just visualize this time, this place, this person. Be aware of the pain you have caused, perhaps due to your own confusion and fear. And be aware of the sorrow and regret you now feel. So just take some time to picture this scenario that might be still burdening your heart. Sensing that you can now finally release this burden and ask for forgiveness by gently saying to this person, please forgive me. I ask for forgiveness. Please forgive me. I ask for forgiveness. Now release the image of this person. Feel the breath moving through you. Be aware now of the ways you have hurt or harmed yourself, beaten yourself up, punished yourself, been cruel towards yourself. Picture these times. Remember these moments. It is now time to extend forgiveness for this harm, this hurt. Repeating to yourself, for the ways I have hurt myself through action or inaction, out of fear, pain, or confusion, I now forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Finally, we have each been betrayed. We have each been hurt by another. So I invite you now to picture and remember one moment of being betrayed or hurt by another, whether it was yesterday or a year ago or 50 years ago. And just feel the sorrow and pain and sadness that you have carried from this experience. If you feel unable to forgive this person yet, if you still feel extremely angry or betrayed, that's okay. Be forgiving of yourself for not being ready to let go and move on. Forgiveness cannot be forced. It cannot be artificial. So you might say to yourself at this moment, it is my intention to forgive you when I am able. It is my intention to forgive you when I am able. But if your heart feels ready to forgive now, you might choose to say, I remember the way that you hurt, wounded, or harmed me. I have carried this pain in my heart long enough. To the extent that I am ready, I offer you forgiveness. I offer my forgiveness. I forgive you. Bringing your awareness back to your heart. The breath flowing in and flowing out. Deepening the breath a little now, perhaps resting a hand on your heart. Soft, tender touch, a loving touch. Perhaps those words again, I forgive, to set myself free. I forgive, to set myself free. Wriggling your fingers and your toes. If you like, having a bit of a stretch. And if you're lying down, rolling over to one side, coming up to sit. If you're seated, you might just have a stretch forward for a moment. Good. And then coming to sit with a nice tall spine, arms out to the side. Let's take a deep breath in, raise the arms up. And bringing the hands down to your heart, bowing your head towards your heart. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of this day. Lots of love to you all and see you again soon.